5 Transnet corruption suspects have been granted bail. They include former Transnet Group CEO Siyabonga Gama. Gama, along with 4 others, were arrested after handing themselves over at the Brackenstown police station this morning. The 5 are accused of contravening the Public Finance Management Act, fraud, corruption and money laundering. The former Group CEO has denied all charges against him. Well, for more on this developing story today, we're joined now in the studio by reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones. Pule, good afternoon. Just tell us what came out of court this morning.
Well, firstly, Pradan, the investigating directorate is quite confident that they're closing in on the net in terms of those who are accused of misusing funds at Transnet. This matter stemming back in 2012, where there was a proposal and request for the servicing and acquisition of about 1,064 locomotives. We do know that from there onwards, a company to overlook this whole process was, of course, appointed. But as years went on, there was a termination of the contract with that company, which then saw certain individuals benefiting from this certain contract, which is to the stem of just over 70 million rand. There's a bit of context that the NPA will give us. The matter is still a bit quite technical as it is right now. But in layman's terms, they're confident that there was kickbacks that were actually happening here, and alleging that certain companies were receiving money for no reason, even though they didn't render any services to Transnet. But I just want you to listen to what Cindy had to say earlier on when she spoke to us regarding this matter.
So the scope into investigations has actually been in inception for a while now. Transnet was authorized by the former ID director and has thus continued with the current ID director. However, you'll know that the various reports that have come out from the commission, one of which has cited various accused in connection to Transnet. However, this investigation was independent. It was just then looking at what was suggested there and then taken forward. The investigation is at an advanced stage. You'd know that last year in September, we already arrested one person, Mr. Mudli, in connection to the very case.
There's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, these accused of these allegations of corruption and all of that, I mean, handing themselves over in police station, Brackenstown, and then appearing in court, each of them, their legal representation, delivering affidavits for bail application, and the bails being granted. A lot of stuff that is happening. The NPA is happy with what happened?
Quite confident. The scope of investigation is actually broadening. More arrests are expected, that's according to investigating directorate. But you'd also remember Volume 2 of the State Capture Report, which was released by the Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, cited, amongst other things, that there was a lot of corruption that was happening at Transnet at that period at certain times. There are other individuals who were also accused, and recommendations were that they should be prosecuted, such as the likes of Mr. Anuj Singh as well in the report, such as the likes of Mr. Brian Molefe. And what we're seeing now is probably just the tip of the iceberg, as the NPA, as the investigating director is saying, that we are looking at the scope and we're expecting more arrests to be imminent. But we are happy with what we're doing, we're moving in the right direction. I just want you to actually take a listen to what you say about those remarks as well.
We're quite happy with what has transpired in court today. We had made a concession in February after the second appearance of Mr. Mudli, who was apprehended in September, that we intend on adding further accused for the predicate offence or the main offence. Those accused have been added today. These are former group executives as well as business persons linked to companies, Trillion Asset Management, regiments, and. What we can also state is that as the investigating directorate, this is the second seminal matter that we've since enrolled. The NDPP as well as the investigating director, Andrea Johnson, had committed to Parliament that we will be enrolling seminal matters in the next 6 months. This is the second one.
Wow, second seminal matter. There could be more in the future. But just on this particular case of these 5 gentlemen who appeared in court today and successfully applied for bail, what's going to happen next in this case?
All right, yeah, quite correct. All of them have applied for bail. And of course, accused number 3 was released on 250,000 rand bail. He was a shareholder in some of these companies. Then you got the likes of Mr. Gama, who were out on 50,000 rand bail. One of the accused as well cited financial reasons, the constraints, and he was released on 25,000 rand bail. The matter's back again on the 13th of July. And hopefully the investigating directorate working with the Hawks will have a formidable case against the accused alleged to be involved in this matter. I mean, they believe that the investigation is at an advanced stage, and within the next 6-month scope period, they will be actually adding more matters and charges to this and try and ensure that money that was stolen is recouped.
Thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, with that update of what transpired in this case in court.